One of his very first official acts as Speaker of the House of Representatives, Republican MAGA Mike Johnson has decided to use emergency relief for Israel to pick a fight with the White House and President Joe Biden. The proposed aid package would include $14.3 billion in emergency funding for Israel. In exchange, it would take out the exact same amount of money from the IRS's budget. It's included in President Biden's signature legislative achievement, the Inflation Reduction Act. It's a move that has angered Democrats who say this is a sign that Johnson will take a right-wing partisan approach to governing. In response, the White House issued a statement reading in part, quote, politicizing our national security interests is a non-starter, demanding offsets for meeting core national security needs of the United States, like supporting Israel and defending Ukraine from atrocities and Russian imperialism, would be a break with the normal bipartisan process and could have devastating implications for our safety and alliances in the years ahead. Top Democrats have indicated that the IRS provisions are dead on arrival in the Senate, with Democratic Senate Finance Chair Ron Wyden calling them horrifying and a non-starter. The House Rules Committee is expected to consider the new bill tomorrow. Joining our conversation, Democratic strategist, pollster, and founder of Brilliant Corners Research. The brilliant Cornell Belcher is here. Lucky for us, Michael Steele is still here. Michael Steele, it falls in that Trumpian category of shocking and galling, but not surprising. Give me your take on the new speaker.
It's MAGA. Trump got what he paid for, so this is what it is right now. We can't dress it up any differently than what it is. Telegenic, coiffed hair, fine suit, straightened tie, still just as dangerous. And this proves the point. The fact that you're going to align an IRS agent's salary with aid to Israel, to me tells me what your priorities are. It tells me what you think about our relationship with Israel. It tells me how you want to politically capitalize on the moment. To what end? Not even Republicans in the Senate are going to vote for that. So it's a means to no end, because there is nothing that's going to benefit from it other than stoking again the MAGA base and sort of burnishing his street cred with Donald Trump. That's why he's there. He's a hand-picked guy. I don't know why they went through all the drama in the first place when they were going to end up with the backbencher that Trump wanted to begin with. So we are in this space. The administration's now, Nicole, going to have to figure out how to cut a deal. And I don't know what that looks like, because what is he going to offer up that's going to be palatable and pass the Senate? I don't know.
So, Cornell, I didn't hear much of anything Michael Steele said after he called the new speaker telegenic. I put on my glasses and I squinted, and I guess if you've run against Jim Jordan, you are all telegenic. But to the idea that we're still calibrating, to the idea that there is no crisis, there's no ally in trouble, there's no backstop of the Senate Republican leader, Mitch McConnell, saying, let me play what McConnell said. He says, I see this the way Schumer does. Let me show you this.
Well, let me just say that conceptually, Senator Schumer and I are in the same place, in the sense that we view all of these problems as connected. Ukraine is part of it. Obviously, Israel enjoys overwhelming support, but we think it's also important that we have a part related to Asia, and that's Taiwan.
I think what he's saying is that they all go together. These are three places where U.S. national security interests are clear, end quote. Senator Schumer and I are in the same place. What does the White House do when they're now sort of standing with Schumer, McConnell, all House Democrats, and you've got this sort of naughty child in the House Republicans?
Well, first, Nicole, someone should check the temperature in hell, because Schumer is supporting. Schumer and Mitch McConnell are in lockstep on something. So something, check the temperature. It's getting chilly.
They're wearing
there.
sweaters. They're wearing sweaters down there, I heard.
They are, but it would also. Your language that you use is important, childish. I mean, it shows that there are no longer any adults in the room. In the House Republican caucus. Look, this is not the first time we've seen them do this, that now they have such an unpopular legislative agenda. And let's be clear, they're not really there to legislate, right? Jim Jordan and the new speaker, they're not, these aren't men who are into legislating. They're men who are into politics. And what they're doing right now is, in fact, playing politics with our national security. Once upon a time, there were adults in the room, and both, whether you're Republican or Democrat, you stopped with the politics when it came to our foreign policy and our national security. But now you've seen them time and time again exploit crisis to try to move forward and play politics with an agenda that they know they can't pass on its own merits. Look, I think the White House needs to take this to the American people, because I do think when you look at because American people can fix this, because I do think when you look at that middle of the road moderate mom in the suburbs of Pennsylvania and in Michigan and in Wisconsin and in Georgia, when you take the case of them, that this is about sort of our national security. This is about projecting America's power and strength across the world. This is about protecting and looking out for our allies and making sure that the wars that they're fighting over there don't spread here and we get involved in it. And what are House Republicans doing? They're playing politics. They're connecting this to sort of political issues that have nothing to do with national security. And I think to a certain extent, you're going to see some of this in the upcoming House elections, where Democrats are using some of this extremism and this playing politics to really turn moderate, middle of the road voters, particularly these suburban moms, who've been really sort of key swing group over the last decade in determining which way the suburbs go, whether they go red or they go blue, and they've been breaking more blue than they have been in the past. I think this helps Democrats in the campaign.